And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the YSN Power Hour Super Show, brought to you by Toyota of Warren, DJ Yoakley. Gary Altizer in the house here, first time in athletics. We got Christopher Colucci, who's getting yelled at by probably his mom, I'm guessing. And we've got Eric Hughes. Hughesy, I'm going to pull you up full screen here, man. Looks like you're growing something. You look like Evil Hughes right now.
I don't know what to tell you, man, honestly.
It looks good.
Thank you.
A little extra facial hair. Never hurt anybody except
It's
girls
No
that don't
Shave
like facial
November.
hair. Oh man, that's what you get with No Shave November. I look like a barbarian. And Fur, you look exactly the same. I'm proud of you. Well done.
I worked hard for that.
I'll get there.
Yeah, that's like a year in the making, is it not?
Stop it.
It's all right. Hey, it is Friday, boys. You know what that means. We got a lot to talk about. We got games all over, and we've got to update people because there have been some stipulations that have been put on us by the OHSAA for a couple of our games tonight, which, boo, right? We're hearing it. And listen, I'd love to take the responsibility for this and have people yell at me the way that they are in the YSN inbox. However, this one's not on me, folks. This one's not on YSN. This is on the OHSAA and our friends over at the NFHS. So here's the way it goes. If you are an NFHS school and you are running the camera, YSN is not allowed to stream. YSN is not allowed to stream video. So for the Ursuline game and for the Archbishop Hoban game, we will be audio only tonight. It is a bummer. It sucks. But such is life, and such is our friends over at the OHSAA for making these incredibly crazy partnership deals that don't benefit anybody but their bottom line. But the good news is we have games all across the board. We have Garfield game tonight as they take on Perry. We have Clearview versus South Range. We have Louisville versus Danville. We have Mineral Ridge versus Mogador. We have that one's the audio only, which is Painesville, Riverside versus Archbishop Hoban. We have Struthers versus Mentor Lake Catholic. I told you Ursuline versus Villa Angeles St. Joe's is audio only, and we have West Branch versus Canton South. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. Okay, 6 games, 6 that you can get for $9.99, which I still think is an unbelievable deal from that standpoint, given that you're going to be at least out $12 per person walking across that gate. I know our game, Gary's, mine, Fur, you're the photographer tonight, which is going to be awesome. And we got Coach Hake in the booth, 4-man crew. It's like Monday Night Football. Our game, just to get in, is $12 a person. You know, so if we were going there, not as media, we'd be out some coin, some absolute coin. And they'd probably pin us for $15 just because I'm walking through the door. Well, we got Hake. So Hake walks through the door. They pin 20 on us. So, but we got all those games tonight. And you know what we do, guys? We pick them. And we got to start where we left off because I know there's one guy at least on this panel that took a lot of heat last week when we got off the air. And it is the Emperor of Valley Christian himself, Mr. Andrew Bernard Hake. Sir, how are you?
Oh my God. Hey guys, how you guys doing, man? What's going on? Yeah, we did some picks. We did some picks last week, and in the coaching world, people were slack-jawed at some of our picks. Well, mine, I don't know.
I was gonna say they didn't like yours.
They didn't like mine, but you know what? I hate saying it, and I was right. You know what I mean? On some of them, I lost the Ridge one. I lost the Ridge, or no, Reserve.
Reserve, you lost.
I went with the Old Guard, and they didn't come through. But yeah, I went with the Old Guard. But they play like heck. But you know, all those other ones, man, I went with my head, not my heart. And it seemed to work out, except from some of the guys calling. How could you pick against us? I'm thinking, what? You know? Well, but no, hey, it's good to see everybody, man. What's going on? Anything new? Just Football Friday, right? Football Friday.
Are you ready to get it on? Is what I'm trying to ask you right
Macho Madness. Macho Madness is ready to get it on anytime, any place. So
are you dressing like Macho tonight?
I should, man. I should just come out there and make it a complete show.
All
What?
that
No,
matters is
nobody be surprised.
there's going to be 4 of us in that truck, and when we get out and the Macho Man it gets out, I think that sets the tone for the night.
Dude, there's good games tonight, man.
There's some very
There's
good
good
games tonight.
games.
You guys want to pick them?
The local team's gonna have to play ball.
They are, but so are the other
Oh,
guys.
no. Ah, you know that. But some of the other guys are some traditional powerhouses that they're just been there, done that. So our boys are gonna have to come to play locally.
David versus Goliath, baby. That's where it's at.
Yeah,
All right,
there's
let's
some
start.
big games.
Let's start picking. Let's start with the very top of the list, gentlemen. Is this a special start time? It says 6 p.m. Do we
What
know
is the
this is
games?
legit? Yeah, it says 6 p.m. for Garrettsville Garfield and Perry at Maple Heights. We'll have to double check on that. But it has Dom O'Brien and Chris Sigler down there for a 6 p.m. kickoff. Gentlemen, when you look at this game, Garfield, the underdog. I don't have. Can somebody open up Drew Pastor if you have a chance? You got it.
Mhm.
What's the spread here?
Right here, it's saying Perry's going to win by 19 points with 85% confidence.
Okay, so 19. You said 19 points.
Yep.
19-point underdog for Garfield. Gary, let's start with you. I mean, you feel good about Garfield, or do you think Perry's going to be the number one team as they're slated?
I mean, this Perry team is unbelievable. They've, undefeated so far. Everybody that's been put in front of them, and some really good teams as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 500 or better teams, including a really good Geneva team, 11-1 Kirkland team. I mean, this is a tall task for the G-men. Sorry, Chris. This is a tall task for the G-men tonight. I think this will be a battle because this Garfield team, they're a team that beats you up, and in the second half, who knows what can happen. I'm rooting for the G-men, but I don't know. I think Perry's just going to be a little too much tonight.
Perry minus 19. You're taking it.
Oh no, we're doing points. I'm a G-man. Give me the G-man plus 19. Sorry,
that changed the entire complexity of the conversation. All right, Fur, who do you got?
I think giving Perry 19 points is absolutely outlandish. I think Garfield's going to cover that. I'm really rooting for them tonight, but I mean, just beating Kirtland in the regular season says enough for any team in the state of Ohio to know how legit this team is. I'm rooting for the G-men tonight, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to come out with the win. But give me Garfield plus 19.
All right, Ty.
Yeah, I think for sure Garrettsville Garfield covers that 19. I think they got a good hard-nosed enough defense that they're going to be able to contend, keep this within 2 possessions. I'm really hoping things fall the way of the G-men, and it's going to be tough because this Perry team is legit. I'm going to take Garfield for the points too to cover that.
Husey, let's go to you first.
Ever since I've been in high school, Perry's always been a very respectable team. But the G-men this year, it seems like they just get better every single week. They have not let me down all year. I'm not going to stop picking for them now. So I'm going to take the G-men tonight.
All right. And Razor Ramon himself.
Oh, the bad guy, huh? I think that Garrettsville is a really good team. They really are. And Perry's front seven are really tough, but Perry has skill that is different than anything Garfield has seen all year. It's their skill that makes them. They got a couple guys that are just what it comes down to, can Garfield pace the game with Sell and keep them off the field, Perry's offense? Because if Perry's offense is on the field, they ain't on long. Their skill's too good. And you know what, like someone said earlier, they knocked off Kirtland. And that's like they didn't just knock them off, they kind of the score looks like they roughed them up. I mean, I wasn't there, but I'm gonna have to take what's the spread, 19?
19, dude.
You know what? Perry's going to meet their maker next week, but they ain't meeting it this week. They're going to win. No, because Southridge is going to play a different brand of football that they haven't seen, but maybe once. And I just think that Perry's going to win this game, not by 19. And I think they're going to get roughed up next week.
Fair enough. All right. Kind of a perfect segue into that team that the bad guy says is going to do the roughing up. It's Clearview. It's South Range. It's at Barberton. I will have the call alongside Gary Altizer, Andy Hake, and Chris Colucci will be snapping photos down there for ysnlive.com. Gentlemen, when you think about the Raiders, this is not the traditional game that the South Range Raiders have played all year. I was talking to some of the players, some of the dads, some of the coaches last night. It's an interesting scenario. And we were in the booth last week and kind of watching this one progress. 16-0 lead last week for Norway, and Clearview comes away with the victory, but they did it with the second half adjustments. And what I'm being told is the defense came out and it was like backyard football, and Norway could not adjust their offense, which I was told, and this is the crazy part, and I think we got another. No, we're good. I was told that Norway is like South Range on steroids. So Norway was like the team to beat coming into this, and everybody had this one penned in as the game of the night. Here comes Clearview, and there's a lot of South Range people that are kind of on the edge of their seats and kind of, waiting for this one. Guys, I think this is going to be a great game. Clearview's defense does not really suit what South Range's offense has been about all year. They kind of play a hybrid defense, which could cause fits for that RPO that South Range runs. Are you going with the Raiders? Are we staying with the Clearview? What are we doing? Let's go reverse skate this time. Coach, tell me what you see on tape. Tell me what you see with this Clearview team.
Fortune, I got that huddle's an amazing thing, able to get some tapes and watch film on people through the week. And man, boy, I like this I like the Gruden aspect to this, man. I get to watch these teams. I got to see Lorraine Clearview upset Norway. That doesn't mean they're not good. It doesn't mean that it's not, everything's matchups and this and that. They upset Norway. And I saw Norway twice on film this year, and Norway is a very good team. They have a lot of tradition, big linemen, physical guys. They got upset for some reason or another. And I'm not saying that South Range kills this team. I don't see this team winning tonight unless South Range completely implodes. I don't think they're imploding. After watching them the last 2 weeks, I mean, okay. And this is just me saying this. I've watched a lot of football through the years. I don't need to be told or lectured about good teams and great teams.
Yeah.
Because I'm not interested in you hear fans say, oh, this couldn't. South Range is as good as if they played Harding and Fitch tomorrow, they'd give them a game. Now, people could tell me something different. That's fine. And that's fine. They're allowed to have their opinion. I think that South Range team is as good as any team in the area, including Canfield, including Ursuline. I'm not saying they beat them, but they would play them, and it would be a 4-quarter game. And if those teams did not approach the situation in the right manner, they lose. So South Range is going to beat this team tonight. They're going to play Perry and win the region next week. And then I don't know, because I know Liberty Center is darn good. They got to play a good Ark Harbor team tonight. I don't know the other regions. I know I've played Liberty Center before. And boy, they're dogs, man. They love football. Like that's those Western teams. They're like Magro. They love football. But I'm taking South Range here. What's the spread?
Was it 30?
30.
Yeah, 30.
Oh my God. God. Yeah, whatever. South Range by 40. What do you want it to be? Don't name the score. They're going to beat them up, and by the third and fourth quarter, Lorraine Clearview calls screams uncle, and that's what I think is going to happen. And it's not that they're not a good team, but you know what? Springfield won that conference this year with Lowville. How do you think they would do against South Range if they played them tomorrow? It's a tough matchup. How about those teams in the Northeast State? It's a tough matchup. I think the South Range blitzes this team, and it's a running clock.
Husey.
I said it last week. I'll say it again. Picking against South Range, especially this late into the season, is kind of a death wish. So give me the Raiders in this one.
Tie.
I think the Raiders win absolutely. 30 points is it's always a tall task, especially round 3, week 3. And it's not that they can't do it. it's tough to cover that. Why not? Give me the Raiders with the 30. I think it's going to be tough though.
For all the pressure's on you, dude.
Everyone knows my answer, plus 30. But what South Rangers got to do, when they got that lead going into the second half, you can't, everyone says grab a snake by the neck. They can't grab it by the tail. You got to grab it by the snake and kill it off there. And they move on next week, and they're going to play Perry in a contested game.
Gare?
I did a lot of research on this game. This Clearview team has got an offense. They got a 2,000-yard passer. He's a sophomore. And last week he was sick. He had the flu in the first half. So the second half, the starting running back, who's got 19 rushing touchdowns on the year, took over under center, and that's when they were able to come back. They've got a four-headed monster at receiver. I believe they've got 4 kids. They got 5 touchdowns or more through the air. They spread the ball around nice. They've only punted 20 times in 12 games this season. So I think that they're going to air the ball out a lot tonight. And they're familiar with the kind of offense that South Range runs. In their league, they have a team named Columbia that runs the exact same offense from what I'm reading. That was a 7-point game. That's one of the only 2 losses for Clearview. I think South Range is the better team, the more talented team. They're more disciplined. But I think this Clearview team, with that passing attack, is going to be able to keep this within 30. That's all I'm going to say. South Range for the win, Clearview plus 30.
South Range in the mustard line, says Gary Altizer. All right, gentlemen, it's Lowellville and it's Danville. The Battle of the Villes at Maslin Perry. E. Hughes, you got this one. What do you got to say about it?
First of all, I just want to say, great to doing a game with Ian O'Brien again. But to the game though, Lowellville, that was a very impressive win last week, beating Western Reserve 32-7, a game everyone thought was going to be close. They've now beaten every team they played this year. They lost to Western Reserve in the regular season, came back beating the postseason. But this Danville team is really tough. They're another small town team just like Lowellville, but those fans love their football team, and it's going to be gritty for 4 quarters. They just beat Springfield 32-6 last week, but I expect this game to be a lot closer. But as long as Lowellville has Michael Balone under center, I believe they should be able to get the job done. Also with that defense.
All right, what's the spread here?
I think it's 11.
Spread's 11 in favor of Danville.
Danville minus 11.
Okay, so Hughesy, you taking Lowellville plus the 11, right?
Of course I am. Come on.
I know, just making sure. All right, let's go, Gary. Top of the boxes.
Lowellville, impressive all year. They continue to get better every single week. This Danville team is so good. They're undefeated. They play a tough schedule, but I think Lowellville played an even tougher schedule than they did. I think this is going to be a great game. Eric, I know you guys are going to have a blast with this one. You've had fun following these guys. I think this Danville team is just I think it's a toss-up. If everything falls right, I think Lowellville can win the game. I'm definitely going to take them plus 11.
Fur?
I was able to watch Lowellville play last week, and they usually come out in a spread type of offense, and they ran the ball down Western Reserve's throat. Western Reserve had no answer whatsoever for that run offense, and it was absolutely amazing how they controlled the game. I remember talking to Coach Armini earlier in the week, and he said that he wanted to, he wanted to take possession of the ball. He didn't want to give Lowellville the ball as much. He wanted the time of possession on his side. Lowellville took that and they ran with it. They used up the clock the whole game. They were getting 8, 9, 10 rushing yards a game. With that being said, I'm taking Lowellville tonight with the big upset. Give me Lowellville going to the regional finals.
In the mustard line. Ty, what do you say?
I think this is like a 50-50 game. I mean, you look over the schedules, you look over what these teams have done with wins against similar type competition too. Lowellville hasn't allowed more than 21 points all season. Danville hasn't allowed more than 22 points all season. So defensively, they've performed pretty similarly all year. Offensively, pretty similarly as well against similar type competition record wise. Of course, speaking, we can't go off of just seeing everybody, right? So I think with plus 11 in a coin toss game, in my opinion, I'm going to go Lowellville all day on that too with the plus 11, no doubt.
And I think that basically what you're telling us is it's a race to 23, Ty, because one hasn't seen,
right.
They've only seen 22 points all season. So
I've been impressed with Lowellville's defense this year too. So I think they have a chip on their shoulder this year.
Let's go to Sam Torres, who joins us. Sammy, you like Lowellville or Danville?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this Louisville program. I think the Balone kid is stepping right into the shoes left by the last Balone in that program. They've been fun to watch. They've been tested. Their only loss this year coming to that a very good Western Reserve team. I think I'm going to go with Louisville. I think Louisville's going to win this game. I really think Springfield beat up Danville more than people realized last week, and that can go two different ways. You're either really hyped up because you beat a monster, and even though Springfield's a small school, it's a monster when you meet them in the playoffs, or you get beat up and you're trying to recover, and you don't have time to recover when you got teams like Louisville out there playing.
All right, and on to the head ball coach, Coach Hake, Louisville or Danville?
Oh man, I don't want to do this again, but here we go. Guys, the reality of this situation. Okay, Louisville had a great year. They're a really good team. They've done such a remarkable job the llast 2 years where they go 10-0, now 9-1. Danville's going to win the game. They're going to win by over 11. I hope that Louisville wins. I hope Louisville wins. I'm not being – guys, I did this last week. Guess what? Hey, I want Louisville to win. Ballone's good. I want them to win. I really do. I want them to win. They're not. I just feel
That's Louisville calling, Coach.
Yeah,
Hey, he got hacked by a
yeah,
rocket.
dude. I got 3 texts while I'm on the phone right now. I've gotten 3 texts. Good people of Louisville, we love our Rockets. We believe in things. I hope you win. 11 points. I think Danville. Now, hopefully Louisville comes up and gets some turnovers, punt the ball, play field position. I just think that I played Danville before. They're a real program, and they're like a smaller version of Mogador. So I'm taking Danville.
Well, it's interesting that you say Mogador because that's who's next. We've got Mineral Ridge versus Mogador, Matt Marr and Jordan Barber on the call for us here tonight, live from Salem, Ohio, Bob Sebo Stadium. Well, let's just start with the old ball coach, Mineral Ridge and Mogador. I know you talked about Mogador. How do you feel about Mineral Ridge's chances?
All right. Again, this 17 times regional champion since 1990, right? I played these guys. They play different brand of football. They're not little Massillon. Massillon is big Mogador. That's how I feel about it because they've won state championships. I'm not being, did I say it? I'm sorry.
Cold-blooded.
Actually, they do it on the feet. They won 3, Massillon has like 30 mystical trophies. You know what I mean? Well, Western Reserve has one in 2011.
He's about to get text messages, emails, actual mail from Massillon fans.
And folks, I'm going to be right. They can be mad all they want. I want Ridge to win the game. It's my hometown team. They got a chip in a chair. I think they got to play well. They got to play above themselves. I've watched film on Mogador. I got to take the Wildcats, man. What's the spread on that, though?
22.
That's the only team that could give Kirtland a problem, but they could get sculled too. So, you know what I mean? I think that is the most traditional team in Northeast Ohio. If you follow small school, I'm not talking about the last 10 years, 20. I'm talking about the last 40, 50 years. Mogador, it means more to Mogador than it does. I know you're. Oh man, hey, I'm already getting it. Hey, but I'll tell you this, hey, Ridge, they got a chip in a chair. They get to play. They got to play their tails off, and they need to have some things happen. Same way about Louisville, Danville. They got to have some things happen for them. They got to have some turnovers. They got to have something happen for them. I'm going with my mind here, not my heart. I want Ridge to win. I want Louisville to win. I think Mogador and Danville are winning these games.
All right. Husey.
I gotta say, I'm very impressed at Middle Ridge to this point in the playoffs. I mean, when everybody thinks of the MVAC, they think of Springfield, Western Reserve, Louisville, those 3 teams. But Middle Ridge is one of only 2 teams from the MVAC left in the playoffs, right next to Louisville. And Middle Ridge so far has had to do it on the road. They beat Jax Milton in the first round after they lost in the regular season, 35-6. They came out last week, beat a really good Rootstown team on the road as well. They contained their star running back, Dawson Morgan. So, you know, I'm taking the Rams in this one. They've had to deal
That
with
a
a lot of
boy,
adversity.
that a boy, that a boy.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. All right, Sammy, who you got?
So, I got a chance to actually watch this Mogador, not Mogador, although I said that about 15 times on the broadcast last week. It's Mogador, like Ma, the meatloaf, Gador. And I watched PV go out there in the first quarter in this game and score on Mogador. I don't know if they were asleep, but I do know they were having a hard time stopping the run. Not only did they score, they got a 2-point conversion. So this game was very, very close. PV just didn't have the horses to keep up in the end. Mogador's got 2 guys that stand over 6'3". One wide receiver who he stands at 6'5". He's not very fast, but he can outjump everybody. And they've got a defensive end that stands at 6'5". So they're gonna try to use that tonight. But I think Mineral Ridge, if they go out there and they run the ball and try and keep it out of their hands, Mogador is not the Wildcat of old. I know that they've got history on their side, but the future could be for the Rams. Give me Mineral Ridge.
Oh, I love it. Ty Bartel.
I mean,
I
I
live
agree.
in Ridge. I actually live in Ridge, and you guys are picking for the Rams. I'm gonna get burnt. My house
No, I could
Are we supposed to
absolutely.
go with the YSN team no matter what? Is that
I
what we're
think I'm
supposed
going to
do?
come pick you up instead of meeting you at the country fair just so I can see your house for the first and last time.
Coach, I'm with you. These guys just picked the
Neighborhood
YSN
parties.
team.
I have wonderful neighborhood parties here. I'm gonna get like burnt. They're gonna come torch me, man.
You're out, pal. No more.
Yeah, I
No.
know.
I
It's
can
easier
absolutely
just coaching.
attest, though, that this Mogador team's always legit. They're one of the best programs in and around the Portage County area, no doubt. And very respectable program. I'm gonna take Mogador to win the game. I'll take them on the mustard line. But as far as the spread goes, I think Mineral Ridge can cover that if they're running the ball really well. I'm gonna take Mineral Ridge for the spread, but I do think Mogador takes the win.
That's it, Hake. Put your kid on. Nothing affects the world and pulls
Good
on this
people
first
of Ridge. Good people of Ridge. I'm a father. Please be good to me. This is a wonderful boy. His name is Augustus Julius Caesar Hake. He has a lot to live up to. He needs a father. I didn't take the line. I just took Mogador. I didn't take the line.
Oh my gosh, Fern.
Sorry, Coach Hake, but give me Mineral Ridge and a big upset.
Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. I deserve everything I'm gonna get if this goes sideways.
Hey, like Eric said, you have to be impressed by this Ridge team. They beat that Rootstown team last week. That Rootstown finished in the AP top 10 at the end of the season. The Rams are flying high right now. Hats off to them. But I'm going to have to go with Coach Hake on this one. I just don't see them being able to get by this Mogador team who beat the same Rootstown team, I think 27-0, shut them out. I'm going to take Ridge plus 22, but on the mustard line, I'm going with Mogador.
Fair enough. And hey, we do a little thing on this show. When you're the lone wolf, you got to do the howl. So let it fly, Coach.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll use it. I'll take it. The next game, ladies and gentlemen, is Painesville Riverside versus Archbishop Hoban at Twinsburg. Audio only. Ty Bartel, Mike Ackelson have the call for us tonight. Ty, what do you know?
Oh, I know this Hoban team. I mean, to quote our good GM from the first game of the season, they play like men, right? And that's exactly where it starts. It starts in the trenches. Their offensive and defensive line are monsters. They're juggernauts. They push you around. They play bully ball up front, and they allow their skill positions to just go to work. Tylen Juice Boykin, they call him Juice out there too. Their quarterback. He has a great arm. He has some great speed too out of the quarterback position. So he has the ability to score on the ground, through the air, and having that dual threat with that phenomenal offensive line in front of them, it's allowed Hoban to do whatever they want offensively, with the exception of St. Ed's at the last game of the season this year. They're a team averaging 37 points a game this year, 39, points a game this year. They're allowing just 8. I don't care what the spread is. It doesn't matter to me. Give me the Knights. I'm going Hoban all the way.
I care what the spread is. What's the spread?
27.
20. Okay. All right. So there it is. Fur, what do you say about Hoban and Riverside?
Hoban is legit. They are men. Give me Hoban, short and sweet.
All right. Let's go, Sammy. Oh, here it comes.
I can't find it of all the times to use the damn sword, and now it's not here. Listen, Riverside it's a very good football team. They've been in the playoffs for the last couple years, but Akron Hoban is not something they've seen coming. It's nobody they've played. This is the same Riverside team that has lost to Kenston and lost to Chardon, and I would pick Hoban to beat both of those teams by 45 points. Give me Hoban by 50.
Woo! Husey.
I'll do you one better. Give me Hoban by 60.
Oh! Can we get 70? 65, 70, 75. Hey, Hank, what do you got?
Hoban's the best team in the state, all divisions.
That part.
That's how I feel. It's not. It's. I mean, they could lose though. Massillon could knock them off. They could lose, but what they've done week in and week out, they could dismantle people. Man, they got Division I guys all over the place. Hoban by whatever score you guys want it to be.
Yeah.
You guys picked a score, and I'm not going to say no because Riverside's good, dude. Look at their scores. They play dogs, man. They're just running into a juggernaut, dude. You know what I mean? They're running into a juggernaut, and there's nothing wrong against Riverside. And that's how I feel about some of these other schools. They're good. Just running into juggernauts this week, man. You go deep enough in that dark woods, you're going to find somebody from some strange place that's going to rip your face off. That's how it goes.
This Hoban team's on a mission. Number one most difficult schedule in Division II, at least at the very, very, very least, a top 5 team in the state overall. But like Coach said, could be the best team in the state. I don't think this Riverside team has what it takes tonight. Give me the Knights minus whatever you feel like.
Brent says, never forget when the G-Men upset 2 teams in the playoffs before. Very tough Cardinal Mooney team, and I do believe the G-Men have the last official win in the old Raider Stadium. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. I mean, that's history, my friend.
Both those teams are undefeated too. I mean, you throw 2 undefeateds at each other, you never know what could happen.
There's nothing better than seeing Garfield and South Range next week. That I would love that. I would embrace that with both arms and maybe a little butt squeeze on that. I'm just saying. Just saying. All right, on to the next game. We got Strutters versus Mentor Lake Catholic. This one is at our favorite place in the world, Berkshire. Steve Hodge and Tyler Hartz have this game for us tonight. Let's go, Sammy, with your favorite second home, the Strutters Wildcats.
Listen, I was hoping maybe if I got here 15 minutes, I'd miss this one. But, of course, I didn't. The Wildcats pick waits for me, I guess. So, Mentor Lake Catholic's another one of those teams. I'm very familiar with them. They kind of rule the roost up here. When it comes to playoff football, when it comes to culture, it's Mentor Lake Catholic. Even when they're down, they're still better than most teams. Struthers is a team that I think is phenomenally athletic. They play in, if not the most difficult, one of the most difficult conferences in all of football. I think the guys that they play weeks 1 through 10 prepare them for weeks 11, 12, 13, 14. But Mentor Lake Catholic, they pass the ball very, very well. And I just don't know that Struthers has seen a passing attack like this. I don't know that they're going to be able to stop it. Surprise, surprise. It's going to be Mentor Lake Catholic, my pick tonight.
Boo. Husey, I know you won't let me down.
First of all, great win for Struthers last week against Poland. I'll save that for the spark later. But this Mentor Lake Catholic team, they're also really good at taking care of the football. They play great fundamental football. And one of the Achilles heel for Struthers this year is like some of the stupid penalties, in my opinion. But they're still a very tough team. I think Coach Bake will have them playing their best game tonight. So give me the Struthers Wildcats to advance.
Oh, man, I forgot to get that Bake song downloaded to play. That would have been awesome. All right, Coach. Who do you got? Strutters or Mentor Lake Catholic?
I think this is one of the tougher ones of the night. This one and then Canton Southwest branch. You know what, Struthers, if they put them in a phone booth and they're able to, they have no splits on offense and they try to grind your face off. I really like their brand of football. My man Augie's having a tantrum. I'm gonna take Mentor Lake Catholic in a close one. I want Struthers to win, but I just think Mentor Lake Catholic is a little too balanced. They're just too balanced.
Okay.
Wait, what's the spread for that game?
Yeah, what is
7. Catholic -7.
So it's a toss-up.
coin flip?
I want Struthers to win, man. I want Lobo to win. I want Ridge to win. Oh my God, I'm going against all of them.
Tie.
Yeah.
I think this is a very good Struthers team, and I think this Mentor Lake Catholic team, though, the history on their side of being a really, really good team, they look beatable. And I know week 1 is a long time ago, but this is a team that lost to Cardinal Mooney at the opening of the season. And I think if you were talking Struthers, I think Struthers can hang with the Cardinals if I'm talking from seeing both teams this year. I'm going to go with the Wildcats, especially +7 in this one. They've only lost one game by 7 or more, and that was Geneva. The other 2 against Poland was by 1, and then, of course, the other one was by 4, I think, to South Range. So they've lost to good quality teams, and they've won against some really good quality teams. I think they're tested, and I think they can get the win.
Ferdog.
You know, I love me an NE8 school deep in the playoffs. Give me Struthers in this one. And
Yeah.
also, isn't Lake Catholic the volleyball team that upset Crestview? Or beat them in the playoffs?
Yes, I think so. Mentor Lake Catholic. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout
that's
out
them. Yeah.
shout out to the Crestview Rebel girls or volleyball team that made it that way that far. And unfortunately losing to Lake Catholic, but it's just weird how they ended up on the network again.
Avenge me. Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, this is a tough one to pick. Both of these teams are, tough teams. The Struthers team's got a high ceiling. I think if things go right for them, I think they could pull off this win. I'll take them in the points, but I think I'm going to take Catholic on the money line or the mustard line.
Mustard
Excuse me,
line.
excuse
No,
me, excuse
no
me.
worries. The next game, VASJ, Villa Angela St. Joe's, taking on the Ursuline Irish, the YSN team of the year at Marlington. Audio only, doesn't matter to me. Irish, one of the best teams out there in the state. Gary, what say you?
Hey, I don't know how you can go against them right now. I'm rolling with the Irish.
What's the spread?
It is. 1 second.
Sorry, didn't mean to
Nope,
put you
you're
on the
good.
spot.
It is, we're at Division 3.
Yep.
Division 3, the Ursuline Irish are 12-point favorites.
Ooh, okay. Okay, for Irish and 12?
Yeah, I got Ursuline winning this one. I mean, they beat a very respectable Canfield team last week. I thought a lot of people thought that game wasn't going to be that close. I mean, Canfield was, winning until like middle of the fourth quarter, but they pulled it through. They're going to do just fine tonight, and they're going to cruise their way on to Canton.
TB?
I said last week, too, I said Canfield was going to be the toughest competition Ursuline would face until state Final Four, and I attest to that. I think Ursuline wins this one. I think they take it with +12, too, or -12. I take them and the spread on this one.
Coach?
Not so fast, my friends. I know Ursuline's great. Villa Angela St. Joe's is really good, too. I know Rotsky, their coach. I feel there's an upset in the air. I feel that Villa Angela can pull it off. He has the ability to get guys from all over Cleveland, and he does. He's unapologetic about it. The guy's very good. Am I not supposed to say it? It's a truth?
No. You're fine. You're fine.
It's just
It was-
awesome to
Isn't
hear.
it refreshing to have
It
Americans
is.
come
It
on
is.
and just say it? So
It
he's
is.
able. It's a bigger area, Cleveland. He gets the guys. He's unapologetic about it. Everywhere he's ever been, the guys, study Rotsky, their head coach. He's the vice president of Merrill Lynch. The guy, wherever he goes and is able to attract kids, and he has got a litter of dudes. And I know that Ursuline beat him earlier in the year. I understand that. You guys know it's hard to beat a team twice, especially when they're real good. I feel that there's going to be an upset. And I think I feel Villa Angela St. Joe's going to upset them tonight.
All right. Husey.
Yeah, I'm taking the Flying Irish in this one. I mean, they didn't play their best game last week against a really good Canfield team, but they still came out on top. And I just can't see them having 2 bad weeks in a row. So give me Ursula in this one.
Sammy.
Yeah, only one team last week really had a final score that actually surprised me, and that team was Ursuline. And this is not a knock on Canfield. I think they're a very good football team, but I thought Ursuline was going to go out there and be able to control the game from pillar to post. Villa Angela St. Joseph, everything I just said about Mentor Lake Catholic when it comes to history, the mystique, you know, the everything that they've got when it comes to football. When you hear St. Joe's in this area, that's who you think is St. Joe's. They've also got one of the best players in the state who happens to be named Bo Jackson and wears number 34. He is an absolute monster. The stories write themselves. Ursuline was able to smack them in the mouth early in the season, but I think that actually puts them in the driver's seat because they get better. Ursuline just has to maintain. I'm still picking Ursuline to win this one, but I'm going to take Joe's with the points.
Okay. I thought you were going to go Joe's with all that
dude, I
talk.
thought I was going to have a buddy with one of these. Why am I the lone wolf on all these?
You're the one-man wolf pack.
Dude.
Listen, that Canfield Ursuline game last week, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because I really thought Ursuline was going to go out there and, you know what I mean? And it didn't happen.
It's the human condition, dude. The human condition. And Canfield said, we're not going quietly into the night. And they went after him. And all the pundits, all we can do is talk. It's people in locker rooms that make decisions. And that's what it comes down to. So you know what? We're just talking. And I know we're having fun and talking. But, hey, Middle Ridge can win. Lowville can win. Struthers can win. They all can win. It's going to take some monumental effort in some of these situations for those things to happen.
Yeah, I'm interested. I think there's a lot of people down on Ursuline right now, but I think that's an ultimate disrespect to Canfield because we saw what Canfield was doing, the run that they went on, and Canfield got to read. Listen, those boys can read Yappy too. Those boys can, they can watch, and they weren't the game of the week, and I know they were pissed off about it, and they should have been because that, to me, that was the game of the week. It really was. From that standpoint, and I know there were a lot of people from Canfield, the players, that were not happy and felt disrespected. And I think there's an ultimate respect now that people have to see with Ursuline that they've been able to play one of the toughest schedules that I've been able to come across this year. I don't know, and I know I say this about a lot of teams, but you look at Ursuline's schedule, you know, week by week, and you go pound by pound, and my gosh, to start with Steubenville. And to take on and to unseat the defending champions of Division III. I mean, I think a lot of people are down on Ursuline. They shouldn't be. That's where I'm going to go with it. I mean, I could be way off base, and I usually am, according to Yappy. But but let's just be real. If I'm being real at this point and not just chasing paper, it's I think Ursuline's the real deal. So sorry that I probably just jinxed you, Coach Reardon. All right, our last game tonight, it is video. We've got West Branch, we've got Canton South, and it's at Louisville, which is, does anybody else see the irony in all of this? You've got West Branch, who is in the EBC, right? You've got Canton South that used to be in the EBC, used to be in the NBC, and you're playing at Louisville, who they kicked Louisville out of the EBC when they created it. So it's storylines everywhere, but what's the spread on this one, Gary?
4. West Branch favored by 4.
Ooh.
Wow.
This one could be the game of the night. Coach Hake, you said this has potential to be one of the games of the night. Why do you like this one so much?
Oh, so many reasons, man. I think both teams have a lot of skill. Both teams have explosive players. Both teams played a pretty good schedule. Both teams have, I mean, it's one of those games where it's not, this team has to do something crazy to win the game. I think either team can win the game easily. I'm taking West Branch because I'm not going against Tim. I coached a guy for 4 years at reserve. He's having a hell of a run. I'm not going to go against him, but I'm crazy. I'm going against my hometown, but I'm not going against Tim. So I got it. I got to take, but I do. I think West Branch is going to win this game. They got to contain. Who's the dude from Canton South? Is he a running
Poochie
back?
Snyder.
All right, dude. All right. Hey, if they don't contain Poochie, it's going to be a long night for the Warriors. But I feel they can go back and forth with anybody scoring the way they score. So I'm just going to say West Branch. It's going to be a tight game. You know, I'm going to take the Warriors, man. I think it's going to be tight, though.
Husey.
I've never picked against West Branch this year as long as I'm doing the show, and they have not once let me down. I don't think they're going to tonight either. Give me the Warriors.
All right, Sammy.
Yeah, I think this is a game that West Branch actually was looking for last year. You know, this is the same Canton South team that got upset by Jefferson last year, which put Jefferson into upset West Branch last year. Both of these teams realized that they kind of let one slip through their fingers last year. They're both playing, I guess, kind of a redemption season is the way I look at it. Bo knows football when it comes to West Branch. That kid is the real deal. Poochie Snyder has thrown for, I think, 700 touchdowns this year. When it comes to Stark County, he runs the whole area. But I think West Branch had the last taste of bitterness last year, and it's still fresh in their minds. Give me West Branch and Bo and Boston and Joey Jackson.
All right, Ty.
Yeah, I was going with the Warriors anyway, and 4 points seems right. I mean, I feel like this could very well be a field goal game, but I feel like West Branch can cover that. That it's the spread that's getting me, but I do think the Warriors win. I'll take them with the points, though, the -4.
Ferdog.
Yeah, West Branch has just been on fire this postseason. Give me West Branch.
All right, Gare.
Warriors on fire. Only lost was week 1 to Canfield. This Canton South team just squeaked by Buchtel, if I'm remembering right. I think that the Warriors are flying high right now, and I think they cover the 4.
I think their defense has been outstanding too.
Yeah, they've got, I don't know how many, 1, 2, 3, 4 shutouts on the year. So when you can shut teams out and you can score like that, it's tough to go against them.
It's one of those things, man. In playoffs, you're not looking to shut anybody out necessarily. Right. You're just looking to score more points. So, and I think this one's going to be a great game. We got a lot of great games. 6 of them with video, 2 of them with audio only. Let's run those down one more time. Garrettsville Garfield taking on Perry at Maple Heights. We've got that one for you at 7 o'clock. It has been confirmed. Clearview at against South Range at Barberton. That is at 7 o'clock. We've got Louisville versus Danville at Maslin Perry, 7 o'clock kick. All these 7 o'clock kicks. I'll stop saying that. Mineral Ridge versus Mogador at Salem. We also have Struthers and Menor Lake doing battle. Menor Lake Catholic doing battle at Berkshire. And we have West Branch and Canton South at Louisville. Those are your video games. Get it? Your audio games are VASJ versus Ursuline at Marlington, and we also have Painesville Riverside versus Hoban at Twinsburg. Answer a question on here real quick. It says, I paid for the stream on Purple Pass. Will it show up when the pregame starts? Yes. So we typically, and I can say this to the public, it's consumable for the public. We typically try to turn our streams on at 6:45 so that everybody sees, and if there's any problems, we can address them very early. So if you're there at 6:45 and there hasn't been an announcement or in that vicinity, right? If the games are starting at 7 o'clock and you don't have them, you need to email us, right? And that way we can kind of walk you through the process. But if this is your first time doing it, I suggest you buy now and play around with it prior to the game start, because again, it is a no refund policy because of all the burning in the past that we've had to go through. So just letting you know, $9.99 gets you 6 video games tonight, and then you get the 2 audio games for free if you really want them. You can put them up on different screens, all that stuff. But for the $9.99, you get 6 entries for video access to games, and then that does not cover the NFHS. Do not try to do it. We had people try to do it last year. We are not affiliated with them yet. Okay. So you cannot use the Purple Pass that we have and go over the NFHS. It does not flip over. So that is our picks. You know what that leaves time for, gentlemen? Leaves time for the best the best ending in sports. It is the Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark? Presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Anything commercial, residential, industrial, anything electrical. Go to DickeyElectric.com. Uh-oh. All right, it's spark time, and the hottest take of them all sits down below in the middle, Mr. Eric Hughes.
Yeah, for my spark, I just want to give another shout out to my hometown team, Mile Monitor Stroh's Wildcats, real quick, for getting a big win last Friday against our arch rivals, the Poland Bulldogs. Just to quote Morgan Wallen real quick, they beat us every damn year. It's been minutes since we pulled out a win. But yes, this year the joke's on Poland because they lost big this time. But trolling aside, shout out to Poland. They had a great team and a great season. They should be proud, especially for their seniors. But transitioning from one country singer to another, my former coach, John Bake, I love you. I'm proud of you, what you're doing this year. Let's keep this thing rolling all the way to state. Let's go, Cats.
Wait, are you a country singer?
No, I was talking about Morgan Wallen. I quoted him early.
Oh, my bad. I don't
Then
know.
I shifted to John Bake, who's also a country singer.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
who
was about
she
to be
is.
like, he just outed himself now. He's going every week. He's just outing country singers locally.
The best line of the year, to me, at least on my broadcast, was when Chris Colucci said something about Morgan Wallen, and I said, "Who is she?"
What?
And his
Wait.
jaw dropped.
That's crazy.
Slack jawed, as my buddy Andy would say. All right, Ty, what do you got for your spark, sir?
As the football season, we're in round 3 of it. We're kind of in that kind of transitional period between fall sports and winter sports. And in doing so, we're talking to a lot of basketball coaches. And my spark is just all the great basketball coaches in and around the area that have graciously given me their time. So that way we can get good previews up and ready for them going into this basketball season. So all the basketball coaches in the area, the basketball family, you guys are my spark.
Ty's knocking on the door. He's also printing checks. That's what he's doing right now. Fur, what do you got?
My spark this week is that thank you to Western Reserve for opening up your arms, letting me come in, letting YSN do what we do. You guys were awesome. Unfortunately, you guys lost last week, but we're not done. We got a lot of winter sports to come, and we got a lot of spring sports to come. Thank you guys so much. You guys were awesome. Let's keep it rolling into next year.
Sam.
Yeah, so my spark is, I've had a chance this week to kind of sit back and think about some things. And, we've had all kinds of stuff going on, obviously election week and, big issues and everything. And I had a chance to just sit down and think, and I got to sit and watch my daughters get their awards for their postseason. Different high schools are in different portions of their year. And I watched my freshman daughter get her first high school letter. Shout out to Mia for getting her letter. And it just gave me a chance to sit back and realize that, the reason why I get this joy is because I want to make sure, all these kids out here realize how extra special they are. And we get a chance to do that every day, every week, and every action we do here on YSN. So while we like to have fun and we don't always pick your teams and, those sort of things, just understand at the end of the day, the spark that I have, and I'm pretty sure all the guys who do this, is to make your kids feel special and make you guys know that you matter. That's my spark.
Head ball coach.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, shout out to the Rams, man. Shaner's I coach with them. He's coached with me. He's done an excellent job at Ridge this year. My other thing is this. We got a lot of problems in the world right now, man. Israel and Gaza, Ukraine and Russia, China and Taiwan, North Korea's got a nutcase running at their place. You know what, man? At least we get to do this. And we got inflation, gas and eggs are up. Boy, there's so many problems to focus on. At least we got this for a little bit. It's like a bastion of peace. So you know what? Shout out to all the teams that are still in it. To high school football, Veterans Day to the great veterans. We're in that. Is it Veterans Day today or yesterday?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It's always Veterans Day to me, folks. Let me tell you that much. But we're lucky that we have an opportunity to do this. And I know we're just talking sports and we're giving shout outs and this and that. And it's fun making picks, but only in America, guys. They're not doing this in Russia today. So we're lucky. we're lucky that we have the opportunity to do this and talk sports and have fun with it. And we live in the greatest country of all time. I'll tell you that much. So shout out to Uncle Sam in America, baby.
Amen, brother. David Balestrino saying shout out to the veterans as well. Celebrate the veterans this weekend. That's his spark. Gary, what's your spark?
Like Sam said, Tuesday was the election. My shout out, my spark is going to the Wellsville community. Thank you for voting for the Wellsville Schools Levy. It also passed every time. Doing my third term. Thank everyone who can trust me. I love my community. I love what I do. I love being able to talk about our students in our community here on YSN. Thank you to YSN as well. And thank you, Wellsville. I believe orange and black.
Amen. Definitely red, white, and blue.
That's right.
Chris Sigler says, crank up the Willie Nelson boys. We are on the road again to have another great Friday night. And that is my spark. The Friday night that we had the last 2 weeks. It's been very good. I mean, I guess to say the least. We see all the bullet holes and Band-Aids that go on in the back end of some of the stuff that we do. But we just get a lot of compliments from the people who don't have kind of that backstage pass. So I want to thank everybody for supporting what we do. This is last week with video. So enjoy it and know that when we do go all audio, it will be free because we don't feel like you should have to pay for audio. But we will continue to cover our teams the best way that we can and the only way we know how, which is rooting for them the entire way. That is going to do it for the show today. Everybody, get out there, watch their teams, whether it's on YSN, whether it's in person. Celebrate these teams. Like Andy said, they're not doing this in Russia right now. So on behalf of, let's make sure we get the full screen. On behalf of Ty Bartell, Gary Altizer, Sam Torres, the head ball coach, Andy Hake, Eric Hughes, and the disappearing act that is Chris Colucci. My name is DJ Yoakley. This has been the YSN Power Hour, and it's all been brought to you thanks to our friends at Toyota of Warren. We'll see you at 7. YSN thanks you for watching this